Opposing Gloves here, and today I'm going to be talking about operators. Why are they called operators and not oscillators? Now, you should be familiar with oscillators because of that whole jazz in my Sound and Synth Basics videos. But what is the deal from an oscillator to an operator? Well, digital synthesis, digital FM is a thing because in analog land, and I'm going to talk about the idea of modulation in another video, but in analog land, you need just a lot of components to make things work. So we know that we have these things. They're called operators. What's the deal with that? Why aren't they called, just oscillators? And I believe this is the why. I'm more often not just I need to just talk about the operators themselves, not why they're called operators, but I believe it's because they have both an oscillation output and they can function as a modulation input output type deal. What is the deal with those things? Well, you should know what an oscillator is. We've been messing with them the whole time. They're just something that produces a periodic waveform that we can use to generate a sound. So that's pretty straightforward. But these are special controls, as they also work as modulators. You can send them to control something else. That's what a modulator does. You do not hear modulators. You hear the effects of modulators on the thing that you're actually hearing. So we're going to talk about the idea of modulation in another video. But you need to know that each one of these operators has the ability to put out a sound so you can hear it itself and whatever it's doing. But you can also send it as sort of a messenger boy to tell something else how to behave. And you do not hear that signal. You will hear the effects of that signal. So that's what modulation is in a nutshell. It's instructions from one source to tell another source how to behave. So here we've got these operators, and they can all output a sound, but they can also output modulation, but they can also receive modulation. It is for this reason that I think they are called operators. Now, these things can also use envelopes and a variety of other things that allow us to do digital FM. In analog land, you would need a separate oscillator with separate inputs and a modulation capabilities, and you would meaning separate outs that you could route differently, and you'd have to run it through a whole bunch of different components, and timbral content would change dramatically when you went into like high ranges of pitch. And so as a result, with just the sheer number of components and the sheer number of the sheer amount of accuracy you would need, I just really like the word sheer right now. Sheer. It was just unrealistic as an analog thing. You could probably create, there are some basic analog, maybe 2 operator systems out there that would do all right. But digital it is, because digital is just simpler. You can lock pitch on down to you can just have it at that pitch and it just doesn't change. And you can have all these other components and just do it using math and DSP instead. So we chose to do that. But anyways, an operator can send out a separate signal, its own signal, the signal you would associate, you would hear it. And then it can also send out a modulation signal. It can send out both if you want. That's what this whole jazz right here is for us to use. It's to, sort of facilitate this madness going on. So that's that. If you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe and have a blessed day.
Opposing Gloves. Reversing.